Hey guys, so we're here for the last session, everyone knows everybody except we're going to introduce Ron. Ron, why don't you tell us a little bit about you and a little bit about what you guys are doing?
Sure. My name's Ron Wanless. I'm with Technology Design Associates. We are a technology integrator throughout the western states, everything west of the Rockies, and I've been doing this for 40 years, so a lot of experience in anything having to do with technology in the home.
Okay, so apparently I forgot to fill out the purpose of this session, so apparently I missed that on Sunday night. Sorry guys, but we are actually going to be speaking about, again, kind of the slideshow about work areas, study areas, and what John so cleverly named as performing spaces, which nobody knew what that was. So we're going to be winging that. I know what it is, but we're going to be winging what that is. And then as I've spoken to a lot of you during the break in times, is we'll kind of open it up for questions and answers, because we want to hear from you, and other people here want to hear from you guys as to what your inputs are on things, because we come from all different places. So I think that would be cool. So we are going to get started, and we are going to start with you, Ron.
So
we're talking about probably the work or study areas.
Workspaces nowadays have really gotten way more involved. Ever since the pandemic, everybody's working from home, or everybody was working from home, and a lot of people are still working from home. A lot of people that are now semi-retired are continuing to work from home. So these spaces have become super important. A lot of the items that we've talked about during the sessions here have been really related to how you lay out an office, how you design it in your floor plans, things of that sort. In this case, I think we're more about what do you do to finish it out, or to help a client finish it out, right? So the primary items that are really necessity as far as where we're concerned, first of all, your internal network in the house has to be really dead solid. You want to make sure that you're working with somebody that's actually going to provide something more than just a local cable company router in the house, because that's not going to provide what the clients really need. Something having to do with high bandwidth, high download speed, internet connected to a solid internal network with a hardwire connection for the homeowners to be able to hook into, not something just using Wi-Fi. So that's a major portion. And then the other thing is that we're all doing virtual meetings. So you want to make sure that your layouts are designed so that somebody can have a desk in the space or multiple desks in the space, where they're not in front of a window, where the window's not behind their head, and they're not going to have the sun blaring through in the middle of their meeting, things of that sort. And also some ability to do some sort of acoustic treatments in the room if necessary. If it's a really hard surface room, a lot of people are getting a lot of reflections on their microphones and that kind of stuff. And then lastly, for us, one of the most important things is lighting. Either natural daylight with that ability to bring it into the space, or creating better quality lighting in the room, not your standard electrician's Home Depot cans type of lighting in the room, so that you're not glaring out everything that's in the picture of those Zoom meetings.
Thank you. Okay, Allie, you're up.
All right. So we have seen a trend of return to office with a lot of our tech companies, Wayfair even being one of them, where we've asked for employees to go to more of a hybrid setting. So they can work from home 1 to 2 days a week and work in the office 2 to 3 days a week. But because of that, we're seeing a lot of multifunctional spaces in demand. So using your bedroom and having one of your nightstands be a desk, using guest rooms and furnishing desks into them. I'm not sure if you have a lot of the pictures in here or not, but if you...
We're gonna play the little mystery game.
I didn't want to speak ahead of myself too much. Another great term that we've heard from our builders, the loffice, a loft office area where you have an office, you have your gaming room set up in the same room, you have a TV for the kids, and it's a space that kind of everybody uses in a different way. Also a lot of office craft rooms that we've seen pop up as well.
Cool. And we're going to hit on some of your small
Yeah.
spaces that you had spoken about a little
Exactly.
bit earlier.
So that, again, always looking into the staging of the models from when you hear from my perspective. So always making sure that we incorporate that we know this is a need, that working from home, that schooling from home, that studying, having that area is part of it. So even if you're small in space, there's small desks. We were talking earlier about Murphy desks. They actually will fold down from the wall and turn even just a hallway into an office area. The biggest key with that is making sure that you're thinking ahead of, and it's not an afterthought, so that you have the proper bandwidth, you have the proper plugins, the proper lighting for that area for somebody to be able to sit and work.
Great. Okay, the den and study. So Ron, is there anything different? I'm just,
No, I think they're any space that you're working on from this perspective is all going to be the same,
Great.
at least on the technology side of it. Again, having places to plug things in, having jacks, having hardwire, having good lighting, and not putting the person in a place where their background is going to be a challenge for the meeting. That's really the keys to success on those rooms, wherever they are.
yes, it's funny, I live in a home that was built 40 years ago, so we don't have a lot of plugs. We don't have a lot. So you see where I have like my little power strips, and trying to set up my office working
Right.
from home is really interesting. So, okay, let's see what we got going on here. So Allie, I can't see down on the bottom.
We are seeing many fully remote
Okay.
employees being moved back to in-office or hybrid.
Okay,
Yeah, so
got
we
it.
kind of spoke to that. These
Yeah.
are just some different examples
Yeah.
of settings where it's kind of more than just a single office space.
Yeah. And I know you keep referring to that you're just doing this for the models, but you do know what home buyers that are buying, they duplicate the models
They
because
do.
they think that you guys are the people that are living in it and that you understand that. So don't downplay that, because they do this. So, okay, performing spaces. So, guys, performing spaces, I'm just going to give you a little bit of a background. Started out being, we were talking about people doing Zoom meetings from home, was what we were really thinking, not just an office, but more of a Zoom meeting, and also people doing podcasts. A lot of businesses, small businesses, people are creating areas for podcasts. I took it a little bit further, and you'll see with like theaters and music rooms and craft rooms and things like that. So Ron, and I know you gave me some notes on performing spaces. Let's go back. So that was your note.
Yeah, so
You are a man of many
that was
words.
my note. That's perfect. So again, quality lighting, and when John and I were talking about performing spaces, it's not just as you explained, but also there's a lot of spaces in the home that entertaining happens.
Yes.
And we had this conversation in another meeting yesterday. There's a lot of places in the home where entertaining happens, and maybe you've got a situation where you're going to set it up to where you can have live bands or you can have things of that sort. Or if you do happen to have a home theater, maybe you've set it up with a stage so the kids can do something in that room specific for performance or what have you. Those are the things that we took into play, and one of the primary keys to that is the lighting in the room or in the space. It could be outdoors, it could be indoors, it could be any of those. Making sure that high quality lighting is in place, and the lighting for that performing. Now, even if it's as simple as a podcast in the office, that they really need good quality lighting. They're going to have a high-end microphone in their face and be able to do that, but you have to have good quality lighting so that people can see things in their true colors and their functionality. So that was that portion of it.
Yep, you're gonna, so I started out, so have you guys heard of OmniRacks at all? So I had the opportunity to meet with Phil, and he's created this furniture that is actually built, and it kind of comes ready so that you don't see so many wires and things like that underneath, and that you have your offices and they go low and high and they're custom made. And that's what I started when I was thinking performing, that we started doing, because he also does a lot of commercial spaces, so apartments, and or they have the common area rooms that they're going to
Right.
rent. So, you know, people are going to need to perform in these areas. So that's Omniracks, let's see. And then I came up with music areas, theater, in-house, and of course, as you guys all know, I like wine, so there's my performing area right there.
I want to see what that performance looks like.
It's fun. I was looking at craft rooms. I think that's important for people, and especially if you have your at-home business and your at-home business is crafting or anything like that, we should be able to build some cabinetry around it and put some furniture in it to use. So we're not going to stop right now because I am going to start going around the room and we're going to start with my friend Paige over here. So Paige and I, so Paige, tell everybody where you're from.
Fort Mitchell, Kentucky, Cincinnati.
Okay, and then what areas are you? Oh, hold on. Oh my God, I goofed. Get the microphone.
Gotta have a mic.
Okay, tell us a little bit about your company, where you're at, and what you do for your company.
I work for Dries Homes. I'm the architecture design manager, so I manage the creation of all of our standard floor plans, elevations. I do all the customization requests, and my team also maintains and creates all of our standard plan construction documents that are used to create site specifics.
Okay, and we had talked about, we were just, as I was going around chatting, she was telling me what she was seeing that has been new and different that not anybody brought up. So go ahead.
I guess we learned a lot about ourselves in the pandemic. Post-pandemic people, we all learned we had drinking problems. So we like the sauce closet and we like the liquor as art and all those other things. And we have more needs for more refrigerators than ever before because we have drinks for the kids and drinks for ourselves and drinks for the party. So we're seeing a lot of that pocketed throughout the house. And then we also kind of got a little selfish, right? We shared our spaces for a really long time. And post-pandemic, people aren't willing to share. So I'm seeing a lot of yours and mine spaces. So yours and mine closets, dual vanities, all those things. It's like all about a little bit of separation, even if we're modifying and staying in the same space.
And I was saying what I've seen lately is a lot of en-suites, that everything has a bathroom inside its own bedroom.
Correct.
So much different than how I grew up.
Yeah, you don't just want 2 sinks on a 5-foot vanity. They have to have their own room.
Your own shower or your own everything.
Correct.
Yeah, so guys, anything do you want to add from your areas at the same table? Use the mic. Use the mic. You don't have to. You don't have to. I'm not trying to pressure anybody.
Yeah.
Okay.
But you've been with us the whole time, so
I have.
tell us where you're from and
Okay, my name is Andre Weir. I'm Director of Architecture and Design for Stone Morton Builders in Opelika, Alabama.
okay.
Thank you very much. What we found when we started, pretty much a relatively young company, started in 2006, where we were doing a lot of 2-stories at the time. But the market has shifted to 1-story home designs. And when we got to 1-story home designs, pretty much like my friend Paige was saying, the man of the house wanted some additional space. So there was a request to do walk-up attics with additional bonus rooms, bedroom, bath kind of spaces, because the man wanted his space, or he wanted a 3rd-car garage for his workshop. But that's what we kind of transitioned from a 2-story market to pretty much a ranch walk-up attic.
And is the
kind of
1-story more for aging people?
Not really. Not really. Because
So
all
many
our
baby
2-stories, in our market, our 2-stories are always primary on main. But we did a product of what we call an elite ranch, was like a 2,500, 3,000 square foot 1-story house. And it sits nice on our big lots with a side entry garage, and it just was more appealing than the old 2-story that's been around for a while. And they still wanted the space to go up in the attic, but they liked the 1-story living.
The living area, the overall
all
living
1-story
area.
living. So we're now a ranch market.
Okay,
So
cool.
totally, for the most
Anyone
part.
else at this table want to speak? You don't have to. We've been together for 2 days and
Come on.
just tell us who you are and where you're from. I think everybody's interested in just finding out who's in the room.
Okay, my name's Elise Fontana. I work for DSLD Homes. We're kind of in the southeast we build across the I-10 corridor from Texas to Florida. Then we do some homes in like North Alabama, North Louisiana. We're kind of an entry-level, first-time home buyer, first-time move-up. I guess what we've been seeing is, everybody loves HGTV and loves luxury vinyl plank. If they want to step up from there, they're usually doing the wood look long plank tiles. And we've actually been kind of seeing in some of our markets, we've been kind of introducing like a shorter wood plank tile just so they can get into that price point without having to pay the extra for the larger planks. So that's actually been kind of taken away from some of the luxury vinyl plank market.
And do you still have a big LVP market?
Yes.
I'll tell you, we've run into trouble the last few years with LVP with the heat. So that has become, I know Arizona, we were talking about this, so we've been steering away from it these days just because it's become a customer service nightmare. That was one of the areas, but I think it all has to do with heat, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
In the hot areas, the high deserts, the low deserts that we have out in the West.
And moisture is also not kind from the bottom.
That's
So
right.
we were not really having the moisture. Were you having moisture issues, Brenda?
Well, I
That
just
you know of?
recently heard about that with the moisture and it actually becoming a mold issue because it's technically floated. I don't know if any.
Yeah.
I hate to say this on camera right now. It's okay. We can talk
It's okay.
offline
No
about
one
it.
will hold
but-
you to it.
Yes, but that's I had never thought of that before, and yes.
So we did like a whole moisture treatment on the slab for the floating floor is what we were doing. So moisture is not what we were hearing, but I think we had kind of over $1 million in customer service in the last year on the LVP with the heat, mostly around the sliding door areas and kind of expanding, almost like a wood is basically what was going on, but it was in the hot areas. So it wasn't happening in the other areas.
Someone needs to let HGTV know, all right?
So, okay, Stuart, you're up.
I've done enough talking, so thank you. But a question: are there any requests for standing desks in consumers, or I don't really know why? Maybe in a model you would show that, but what's the reality these days?
My entire office is standing desks. Everybody has that option anyway, and so I'm assuming that people would be using that at home too.
I work from home and I don't have a standing desk, but would appreciate half of my day I actually stand at my kitchen counter.
So of all your associates that have standing desks, how often do you ever see them standing?
I would say most people start that way in the mornings and then they transition to sitting by the afternoon, so probably about half the day. And maybe, I would say just about everybody that has it though utilizes it.
Chris, tell us where you're from and who you are.
Sure. My name's Chris Morrison. I'm from Indianapolis, Indiana, with Estridge Homes. We're a 50-year local home builder in Indianapolis, and I am the director of our purchasing and estimating team.
Great, thanks. Is there anything we can answer for you or that you didn't hear from today in our sessions?
No, the session's been...
Okay, great.
Hi, I'm Andy Toms. I'm the director of production at E.G. Stolzfus Homes. We're a family-owned company, 55 years, second generation, moving to the third generation, the toughest one, right? Because those people haven't been around when the owner was running the business. We do about 120, 150 homes a year. We're actually in the process of building a brand new office building with a brand new design studio in it. We have an off-site studio right now that we lease, that we have fully furnished. So part of the reason was come to start looking at like what are we going to put in there.
And I think you three guys do both production and custom, if I'm
We
not
do, yeah.
right.
We
Yeah.
do. We have full residential and custom home division within our residential office. So they're doing custom homes, maybe 6 to 10 a year.
Yeah, so when I was doing that with several of our builders in the last several years, we utilized our one design studio because we're, brick and mortar store, we're paying rent and we have to get enough traffic going through there to actually justify why we're there. And we had a beautiful design studio, but we did have different designers meeting with our custom buyers. They had a different experience versus our production buyers. Nobody knew the difference other than behind the scenes. From the buyer standpoint, they didn't realize there was a difference. But with our custom buyers, there was a lot more touch points, a lot more on-site meetings at their home, walking through them, because we were mostly getting those homes ready. We were putting them in, they were usually second or third homes for people. So it was really the idea of just bringing your clothes and having everything in there with dishes and everything like that they can get, dishes and hangers and everything that was ready in the house so that they can move in.
So interesting side note to our office building, we were ready to start the building in 2020 and canned that. And obviously since COVID, we actually redid the whole office, the plans, only because of what you're talking about, the hybrid. I had drafters, I had 2 drafters work from home for 2 straight years before they came back, before we brought them back to the office. So restructured the whole layout based on that.
And in your design studio, how big are you going to do your, like, what's your square footage? Because you probably don't need as much space as you think.
That's a good question, because I can't remember what they ended up with. We just looked at the plans again, and there's some site issues now, so we're talking about going 2 stories and taking some square footage away. But
I just think the manufacturers and everybody have done so well on photographing, where several years ago you couldn't see a piece of carpet online, and now you see it, and the qualities are so much better and all of that. So some in your office, some in your design studio is great, but the rest of the color line does not have to be full wall samples. I mean, we did racks of carpets before and all of that, so we've done a lot less now, and it's fine. So thank you for your participation. Ladies back there, do you want to add anything?
Sure. Hi, I'm Rachel. I'm from Oklahoma. I am the Director of Operations and Purchasing, so I manage everything from the actual build, so construction, and then also I manage everything from like estimating, drawing the plans, all the way through design. So I kind of do both sides, which I love. I started in home building as a building superintendent, and then worked my way into operations, which I also love. One of the changes that I haven't really heard a lot of people talking about the last few days as far as design is concerned is the exterior of the houses are really changing. There's a lot of movement on the outside, which I love, and in Oklahoma, we're bringing all new modern designs, which is very unlike Oklahoma. Everything is farmhouse with metal roofs. It's just, I'm over it. It's kind of like the whole gray and white thing, right?
Yes.
And so I feel like the exteriors are really taking a huge change. Like modern Tudor coming out. I was showing her some extended soffit ideas that I had, and I call it the church because it does kind of look like a church. And so I'm really excited to see what new elevations are coming and mixed materials and using those kinds of products. So.
And is the general public interested in seeing something new?
Yes, like buyers are asking for built-ins. Especially with the arches. So I noticed a lot of that in the slides. I'm redlining every plan and restructuring everything right now, and so. For that right there, I'm like, now I've got to add all these arches everywhere, which I'm excited about. It's totally what's up and coming is totally just my personal, design styles, that mid-century modern kind of look. And so I love mixing the textures between everything. Wallpaper is my best friend.
Great.
And so I can't do that in every spec home, right? That doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But these are really cool trends, and I'm excited to see how the exterior is going to start flowing with the interior.
It would be great, like if you to show some of your homes and then put something virtually together that you can do interiors virtual.
Yeah.
And to show what's possible.
Yeah, we don't have. We're learning a lot this week, but we don't have a whole lot of 3D renderings, which we're now getting, because the new elevations that we're doing kind of need to be 3D, so that you can see some of those elements, right?
Yeah.
And so we're doing a lot of 3D renderings, and I have to outsource all of that.
Yep.
But we're doing a lot of those, and they're coming back, and we put one on our website, and there's already just massive interest in it.
Right.
And so that's really exciting. So I think with the interest rates being the way they are, and production being the way that it is right now, I think those are exciting things, as it's now our opportunity as builders to be able to kind of change and shift our markets.
Yep, I agree. Thanks, Rachel. Hi, Cheryl.
I was hoping I'm Christy Maurer. I was hoping to go before Rachel. She does everything. So by comparison, I do the design work and some marketing at Gardner Homes, and we're a small builder in Boise, Idaho. and some we've just broken into. It's not like it's an emerging market, but Idaho Falls is a smaller market that people are going to because of the trends and being able to work at home. They want to live in a smaller community, which has kind of introduced us to, we don't usually do basements in Boise because of our high water table. So they do things a little different there. So just kind of shifting to find what they do and what they're expecting in their homes, because we're kind of a level up builder. So I guess mostly I'd like to hear more about, if we've done level up and custom and semi-custom, but going into more of a production, which we have done in a sense for those second-time buyers, but starting out with a new home, we're opening a new development that we're doing ourselves, which has been a learning curve for us to do the land development and figuring all of that out. But there will be some multi-housing, some 55-plus community. So all of this is new to me as far as like design modeling, and but just hearing about what features you can add in some of those smaller homes that really elevate how they are presented and how to integrate all of these different ways people live in their homes is very valuable.
Okay, we're going to ask the room for all of that. I could tell you, Nancy Ray, who was here the last couple of days, she worked for 55 and up for many, many years. So that's going to be a great buyer profile for you. They come in, they invest, they want to make it a great home, even though they're probably downsizing from where they were. They want all the bells, all the whistles, and they will buy it. And they will buy everything. Just going to let you know that. That has been, we've seen a lot of that, I know, in Southern California, in the desert areas, and I know you guys have that out here, right, Brenda?
Correct, yeah.
And I think out here, is it Shea that does a lot of that out here?
I think most of the builders have
their own 55 and up communities now. Because when I was out here a few years ago, I think it was, we did a lot of communities out, kind of a little bit out the golf course communities.
Correct, yeah. They don't necessarily want to be directly in town, but still want to be able to access.
But they are a great for your design company, is what I'm going to tell you. So, hello, do you have anything to say?
I'm Anwar Khalifa. I'm from Tyler, Texas. I design and build homes, and we're a small builder in Tyler. We're a big builder for Tyler, but a small builder here. Okay. Our latest and greatest new feature that we're putting in all our homes is counter space inside the pantry, anywhere from 4 to 7 feet, so they could put all their little appliances in there and not have clutter in their.
Wow, I've not heard of that. That's a really good idea.
Are you adding power in the pantry?
Of course, yeah.
We're putting our microwaves in the pantry. We're doing the same thing.
Oh, so you guys are, and you're able to use your appliances in the pantry, so they don't have to be.
All their shelves and everything they need right there, and their crew egg, whatever they. That's
Oh my God, look at me. Oh, that's good. That's awesome. I like that. Because you want your kitchens become your showcase. So it's kind of where people are entertaining now.
Becoming furniture.
It is, and it is. I call it like the makeup on in the house. So thank you. That was really, I love that we took that tidbit away. Okay, ladies over here, my friends, go ahead.
Hi, I'll start. My name is Caitlin. I'm from Fort Wayne, Indiana. I'm the Director of Construction Operations for Granite Ridge Builders. So we're a custom builder. We do anything from $377,900 right now all the way up to $2 million homes. And then we have 2 multifamily communities that we've built and then rented out. But one of my questions, we are building a huge, on pace right now, it's been changed several times, $3 million model to kind of showcase our very high end, and we're incorporating a lot of the wellness into that, which I'm very excited about with the fitness background. It's super important. I think there's a need for it. But in your, like we talked about the wet rooms, for saunas, steam rooms, steam showers, are you seeing a lot of those in like the primary suite, or are you seeing those separate like in basements or, you know, whatnot to tie in with home gyms and things like that? Like where are you primarily seeing those buyers put
I'm
that?
seeing it in the primary area, the main bath areas. That's where I'm seing it. You?
I've seen it separate,
Okay.
so maybe both ways, depending on the layout for the home or whether they're doing it at the time of construction or after. But yes, a lot of the, there's the individual, the red infrared saunas
Yes.
that you can get the freestanding units for. Obviously, the cold plunging is huge.
Have you seen cold plunging? Because I just brought that up as something that was a need for this model. So are you installing those now?
We are not. This is just something, again, aftermarket that is just, wildly popular. So I would think that those would go hand in hand.
Well, so I
too.
just was at an event in Orange County. It was called Wellness OC, and there was a woman that was doing the landscape design and all of that, and they actually were doing a large spa, is what they were doing outside, and then they turned half of it into a cold plunge.
Yeah. I wondered if you were seeing that exterior, like in the primary bathroom suite with like the freestanding tub, but having that cold plunge, because some of them do look like the freestanding tubs now.
I've not heard.
I haven't seen it yet.
But I haven't yet, but I know it's very popular and becoming very popular. So, yeah, I've seen them in the very high-end homes in Newport Beach and stuff. Those wet rooms are in the primary suite.
Okay, thank you.
So, thank you. Okay, so we're gonna go a little bit quicker, you guys, because someone's gonna wrap me up soon, so.
My name is Jackie Kimball. I work for TK Constructors. We are an on-your-lot builder all over Indiana, Ohio, and parts of Kentucky. I don't really have anything to say, but this has been
Thank
great.
you
So thank you
so much for, I just wanted you to introduce so we all know who everybody is.
My name is Harley. I'm from Virginia. Work for Lifestyle Home Builders in the design studio. I don't have a ton to say either. I'm excited about all the design trends that I'm seeing here. I personally am trying to put them in some of our designers, but walking the line because Richmond's slow to catch up. So.
I know. So Harley and I spoke afterwards yesterday a little bit for you builders, and she was saying that, as she's speccing homes from the design standpoint, she wants to put new things in her home and make them design friendly or more design-ish for her. But that's that fine line because builders don't own homes. You don't want to own a home. You want to sell all your homes. So we had shared that yesterday, just speaking about that, being careful. So go ahead.
I'm Beth Bird. I'm Director of Sales and Marketing for Beacon Homes in Oklahoma. Hey, Oklahoma. I also manage our design department that fits into
Cool.
mine. And thank you for all that you've presented.
Oh my God, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for sales and marketing being here. I love the sales side to be with the design side, the handoff, how that works. So we have one last person over here. Do you want to just introduce yourself?
Yes, hello, my name is Erica McDonald. I'm the marketing manager of Cromer Investments, also in marketing. We own and manage multifamily communities in Northern Nevada.
Awesome.
And yes.
Thank you for
Thank you
being
very
here.
much.
So, okay, so I understand we're done with board meetings, and we are now going to go up between 1 and 3. You have your one-on-one meetings, and just thanks everybody. Okay, reach out. Please feel free to find us on our websites and anywhere. Love to stay in contact, and hope we see you again. Thank you so much.
Thank you.